Hey guys, it's Derek Dragon from RDA. Got another review today, and this one's of a gun that I could say is just a little bit anticipated. People have been looking forward to it a lot, and this is of the WE G39c, but we all know it's really just a G36c, so that's what I'm going to be calling it throughout the video. The box is a standard cardboard box. This is WE G39c, gas blowback type. Same thing on the bottom, that's pretty much it. Open up the box. Standard WE packaging, piece of cardboard there, and it will be kept actually pretty firmly placed. It doesn't look like it would be, but it's wrapped in plastic, and these hold it placed pretty tightly. And you also get your instruction manual. Let's get this box out of the way. So the instruction manual actually has almost literally no English in here. It's mostly written in other languages. The only English they have is just the very top, charging and shooting, just stuff like that. But there's big diagrams, so I don't know if you can't figure it out by the diagrams, you have problems. And then also in the box you get the obvious thing, the gun, the gun and only one magazine. Now I gotta answer a few questions here. No, this is not compatible with AEG magazines. The gas goes in the mag. Kind of a no-brainer thing, but that was one of the more common comments I've been getting, so no, it can't use the magazines. Other than that, it really can't use any AEG parts at all. The only AEG part I've noticed it could use is the foregrip of the standard Tokimori designed AEGs. I put a JG one on here to see if it would work, and it did work. This is obviously the WE one. But the JG one fit on here perfectly, and it clicked in place, but for the love of God, please don't put a JG foregrip on the WE. I mean, the quality of this thing, whatever opinion you had of WE, go ahead and get rid of that opinion now, because the quality of this completely blows any other G36c on the market completely out of the market. And when I say this, I'm not exaggerating. The quality difference is about the difference between a CYMA or JG AK to a real sword AK. That is really the quality difference. This thing is very solid. The whole body is made out of the thickest polymer and the nicest quality polymer I've ever held in an airsoft gun. The magazine is solid itself. It has a nice look to it. It's not actually see-through. I mean, it is, but you can't see how many BBs you have left. So it's kind of a nice, it's an actual plastic coating that's see-through on the outside. Then the actual parts are metal, which is kind of cool because you can see how the mag lock works on the outside on this side, which is cool, I guess. But like I was saying, the quality of this thing is far better than most WEs. WE is definitely getting a lot better. I guess now is the time they chose to improve and showed it with this. The actual system it uses is a little different. The magazine, it's almost going KWA's way with different sequences when you pull the trigger. So it works very, very well. It's very, very gas efficient. On a 40-degree day, I was having, like, even when this magazine is completely frozen, the gun continues to work. So the gun itself is very, very gas efficient and works very, very well in the cold. And if you live up here in the Northwest, that's a good thing. You want to hear that. Okay, I've ranted a little bit farther than I thought I was going to, so let's get on to the actual review. Like I said, the quality externally is absolutely amazing. Very, very, very solid polymer. The only parts of this that aren't polymer are the parts that need to be metal, as in the side rails, which, by the way, you get all three rails on this model, and all three of them, except for the bottom one, this one is polymer, but the two side rails are metal, and you get those. The flash hider is metal. The whole working bolt is metal. I saw a comment saying I would get this if it wasn't plastic. The real G36c is plastic, and the whole bolt is a big hunk of metal, so there's no way in hell that's going to break. The stock folding button on this side is metal, folds over and locks in place there. And on other G36s, they've had a problem where this piece breaks off. There's no way in the world that's going to happen with this thing. So it works just like that. And the trigger and selector switch are metal as well. Something a little interesting about the selector switch, until you pull the bolt back, until it's cocked, you can't put it on safety. When it's on safe, it locks the trigger. Take it off safe. You can pull the trigger like a regular, gas blowback, but you can't put it on safe unless it is cocked. So don't try to pull the trigger or don't try to force it onto safe. You'll break it. Now this is a gas blowback. It is 1-to-1 scale, so it's a little bit thinner. The grip is hollow, and overall it feels a lot more comfortable to shoulder than your regular AEG gas, or your regular AEG G36. So it does feel very, very nice. The magazine itself holds a lot of gas, and I'm going to fully charge this up just right here, and this is how long it actually takes to charge up. And there we go, it's fully charged. You can hear it filling up the mag the whole way there, so it holds a lot of gas. The recoil is very, very strong. I said this in one of the other videos. If you've ever fired a Ruger 1022, it has about twice the amount of recoil that has. So it has quite a bit of recoil, and I'll dry fire it a few times for you. It does have a working bolt catch. The bolt catch is right underneath the trigger guard, right up in the top corner behind the magazine, like the real one. See, it locks back since there's no ammo in the magazine. Push up on this, and it will release it. It'll be a little stiff at first, but when you insert a new magazine, see when I lock it back, if you insert a new magazine, you can just pull back on that anyway, but let me hold down the bolt catch. Full auto. So it shoots at about 375 feet per second and about 1,000 rounds a minute. That is actually very, very nice for a gas blowback rifle, especially one firing a big, pulling back a big slab of metal. It's basically from about there to there. So, I mean, this whole piece is moving when it shoots. So it's a very, very big piece of metal. So 350, 375 feet per second and 1,000 rounds a minute. One, that's really nice, and two, that feels awesome when you're shooting it. The recoil this has, like I mentioned before, is just very, very strong. The magazine itself can hold anywhere between, somewhere around 23, 25 rounds. It doesn't hold 30. And you'll want to try to find extra magazines for this. They are stackable with other WE magazines. And I would recommend getting extra ones, because with 1,000 rounds a minute, you run out of ammo pretty quick. Other than that, I would probably recommend going semi-automatic. The gun itself is actually very accurate. I was using .28 when I did the accuracy test, and I actually skipped right over to 150 feet, and I didn't have enough time, didn't have enough space to see how accurate this thing could really be. So I can guarantee you at 150 feet, you can hit a headshot target, and no problem whatsoever. So this thing is definitely one accurate gun. I would recommend using .28s with this gun. It's what you'll need, because again, 350, 370 feet per second is about perfect. This gun field strips like the actual WE. I'm not going to do it to save time in the review, because I've already ranted for quite a bit of a while about pretty much praising the thing, because I was very surprised to see this coming out of WE. I'm going to be honest, my opinion on WE before getting this gun was, they're an okay company, they're pretty good, but they were nothing that really stood out. They were the affordable things that you could get. Now, I was kind of impressed by their M14, but that system has kind of been around a little bit. But this I'm very impressed with. This is definitely way above WE's quality, and they've been slowly getting better and better, and this is just a sudden leap of improvement. So, thumbs up to WE for this. I'm waiting on their next release. Something else about WE, and something I've been kind of thinking of, they already have the G36 system, so I'm wondering if they'll make an XM8, a gas blowback XM8. I really hope they do. A lot of people will be interested about that. And if WE watches this, thumbs up on doing that if you are working on that. Because that would be completely awesome. They already have the internal system. All they really need to do is make a kit, although I would much rather have a full-on system to sell with the XM8. I don't know, just a little nerding out there. Back on topic with the actual review, though. Other than that, it's pretty much a G36c. It works just like any other G36c. With the folding stock and everything. The sights are your standard G36c sights. Post in front, ring in back. And if you flip this down, there's a notch instead of a ring if you wanted to get up close, I guess. I personally myself prefer the ring. The top rail is a standard rail. If you wanted to add a red dot, which would probably be the best thing to add. And it would actually be hard to keep it on sight since it has blowback. If you're looking down the sights and shooting it, you do actually have to realign the sights. It has enough recoil to kind of knock you out of your sights. So that's just another testament to how much recoil it has. As I was mentioning earlier, I never really continued on how to disassemble this. There's a pin in the front here, just like your standard AEG. The front portion slides off. is a pin right here. You fold over the stock, and this metal piece in the back will pull up and out, and the whole bolt just slides right out of the back. So it's a very, very simple way of doing it. It works just like the real G36c. Like I mentioned, it's 1-to-1 scale, and it feels very, very comfortable. So, I don't know, like I said, I was completely blown away by this. Very, very high quality. I believe I've gone over everything now. There's not much more to go off of, except for the trademarks, which there really isn't any trademarks. There's just a little thing here. This is WE G36c. 556mm by 45, and then you got a unique serial number below that, and that's about it. There's no other trademarks on it, but if they tried to put any other trademarks on it, they'd probably be sued, so that's a good thing that there isn't any other trademarks, or there's no real trademarks. And if there was real trademarks, the price would also go up, because it would have to be Umarex licensed. Anyway, so I believe I've gone over everything on the review. I think this one's going to be a little bit longer. I apologize, but there is your review for the WE G36c. Again, this is gas blowback, runs off propane, all the simple stuff. And if you guys want to buy this gun, there's a link down below to Red Dragon Airsoft's website. There's also a link down below to Red Dragon Airsoft's forum where you can talk to the community. So with that said, that has been Red Dragon Airsoft's review of the WE G36c. Ah! Nah, scared you.